My name is Barry Allen. And I am the fastest man alive.
Listen to me. There's a war coming. A terrible war.
You have failed this city.
Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to the Fandom Zone podcast. I'm Charles Skaggs, and with me, as always, during the sputtering music is Karen Lindsay. Hi, Karen, how are you?
It was a dinosaur.
I decided to mess with Karen during our opening credits here with my buddy Dinosaur.
Dinosaur. He's an orange dinosaur.
His name's Bob.
Is it Bob?
Bob.
Very nice. I like him.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. This one's name's Fred. This is Fred.
Fred? Okay.
Yeah, that's Fred.
He can meet Murky.
Oh. Hi, how are you? Okay, all right. Well, on that lovely note, yes, I guess we should focus back on the stuff that we're supposed to be.
Oh, comic book stuff.
Yeah, comic book stuff.
I did show Flash also during
That's
the
true. Yeah, you did hit me with the Funko Flash again.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, he's here and Flash was talking, so I put him up. But so we're going to talk about some shows.
Yes, shows with the TV and the goodness and the thing.
That's right.
Yep. Gonna cover. We're down to 5 shows now this week. Now that Gotham's over, we're gonna talk about Daredevil. We're gonna talk about The Flash. We're gonna talk about iZombie. The season finales of both Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Arrow this week.
Correct.
And that's
Senor.
And that's it. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was a 2-parter, so of course you get this ridiculously long podcast once again.
Right. But next week
we're going to be dropping those 2, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Arrow, so we'll be down to 3 next.
And then the next week 2.
Yeah, then next week 2. So we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do. We're gonna need...
two shows is still a lot.
No, I know 2 shows is still a lot, but what happens when those go away? We're gonna have to plan.
It'll be the fall. It will be, right? Because iZombie goes until when?
We're gonna have till July. I think I wrote it down. I have a schedule. Question is, what did they do with it, Mr. Schedule? I've got it. We could drag this out with iZombie. Finish up on June 14th, and Daredevil. We can drag that bad boy out till like July 5th. So it gives us a little time because the new shows don't come back till September.
Sure. There's things to rewatch.
Yeah, we can rewatch. Now, there's a lot of stuff we didn't cover because we started late in the season. So we could go back if you want.
Sure.
So we can talk about that.
There's lots of things to do.
But we will be talking about something. We just haven't figured out exactly what yet.
We're not going to take a break.
Yeah. You're not rid of us that easily, humans.
That's right.
Nice try. Nice try, monkey people. Exactly. All right, so first up on the docket is Daredevil.
Daredevil 106.
Condemned.
That's right.
Written by Joe Pakaski and Marco Ramirez, directed by Guy Ferland. And this is basically this was a hostage episode. And I'm not a big fan of hostage episodes. They tend to feel like filler. They don't really accomplish much as far as advancing a storyline. They're mostly either to reveal like previously unrevealed character traits or possibly kind of set things up for down the road, but they're not really major important episodes. We're gonna kind of breeze through this as quickly as possible, but we are going to try and talk about some things because there were some neat things in it.
Sure.
Because it's Daredevil, and Daredevil's awesome.
It's
So
true. It was a good episode. It just wasn't,
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not like, the Kingpin taking his best girl out for dinner and blowing up half the city.
and taking off someone's head in a car door.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get the episode starts off picking up with the cliffhanger from the previous episode, where Matt is
Yeah.
confronted by
Okay.
cops. Yeah.
Hold on. This is what I felt.
Okay. Oh,
A little bit, right?
little letdown. Yeah, it was kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah. Why couldn't you tell me that? Because I said I can't wait to watch the next episode to see
Well,
what happens,
I
and
didn't want to spoil
you could have
it
said,
for you.
"It's not that big a deal."
I
You
didn't want.
could have told me that.
Yeah, but I didn't want to spoil it. I was trying to,
No,
I was.
it's okay.
You try to be nice on one end.
I know. You did great.
I'm a guy. I'm always in the no-win scenario when you're a guy.
No.
Guys can never win.
You did the good thing. You did the right thing.
I played the safe route.
Yeah.
But
I just was like, "Ugh, really?"
yeah, it was because basically we had Matt like almost arrested by the cops, but of course, he gets out of it because the cops are talking about like, oh, we're not going to have any witnesses. So Matt's does his little cool acrobatic trick by slipping through the handcuffs while jumping up, and and then he
Well, I mean,
takes out
they're
the cops and
right. The cops are on the take, so he doesn't really feel like he has to go in.
right,
So, I mean, that solves it right there.
right,
All he has to do is get away.
right.
So I was like,
And
oh,
so he grabs Vladimir, and they, flee into the night.
yep.
Meanwhile, we had Ben Urich, recognizing that all those explosions that were going around town were Russian controlled.
Mm-hmm.
So he's already, because he's the only one actually paying attention to the crime beat at the Daily Bulletin.
Well, do you think everyone else is getting like paid off to not pay attention?
I'm sure a good chunk of them are.
Yeah.
I think the editor is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vladimir, Matt takes Vladimir to this nearby warehouse. Matt's all like, I need information. You want information? And Vlad's like, no. You can suck my dick.
Yeah. I didn't know you were going to say that, but that was an awesome line.
It was. Then, of course, he passes out. But
right. That was the best line of this whole episode. I did like that Vladimir, even though he doesn't last past this episode, he does get that Matt was not the guy behind all this stuff.
Right.
He finally gets straight that, Matt isn't working for Fisk, and he's not the guy who killed his brother, and, he's not the killer of all these people.
Yeah, because originally, Vlad was blaming Daredevil, Matt for his brother's death, until he finds out that, oh, hey, guess what? The Kingpin's screwing over Daredevil as well.
Right.
So it's like the enemy of my enemy is now my friend. Sort of.
Essentially, that ends up with, now Vladimir doesn't end up living, but it ends up with Vladimir giving him this information.
Right.
Leland Owsley, who is the owl.
Yep.
But he sacrifices himself to let Matt get away, which is an interesting twist, I thought.
Right. Now, the question is, though, is Vladimir really dead? Because he was pretty injured, but we don't see him actually dying.
Right.
All we hear is, as Daredevil walks off, is guns going off.
And it could have been Vladimir's gun.
Yeah, it could have been Vladimir's gun, because he was ready for him.
Right.
So, yeah, he just takes it.
They're implying he's dead, but yeah, it could.
I mean, he might as well be dead, because he was injured pretty badly.
Yeah, he was.
He
was.
But
I don't doubt that he's dead, to be honest.
Right.
I mean, you've seen further than me, so you probably know.
Well, let's just say he doesn't make a return appearance.
Okay.
so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he says to Matt that he's not sure that this information is what he needs. The accountant
Right.
isn't what he needs.
Well, he says he
I'll
needs.
give you this information that you want, but
Yeah. Yeah.
so you know,
Now I did
he's pretty much warning him away,
right.
right?
Now there was a cool scene in there where Matt calls Claire for help
Yeah.
because
Claire.
Vladimir's all bleeding out all over the warehouse floor, which is not a good sign. So she talks him through how to cauterize a wound with road flares.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Well, before that though, he tells her that it's Vladimir, and she is very unhappy about this.
Right, because he was the guy that kidnapped her and tortured
Yeah.
her and yeah,
Yeah.
almost
But then
killed
he
her.
explains, I need him for information.
Right.
And she finally does say, all right, whatever, use a road flare and
Yeah, make it hurt a
don't worry
lot.
about, right.
Yeah.
Don't worry about how much he screams. And
Yep.
wow, he does scream
Yeah.
a lot.
He screams so much that attracts attention of a passing New York cop. One of
Right.
like the only ones not on the take by the Kingpin.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
For that
because
poor policeman.
yeah, pretty much because Matt ties him up, captures him, ties him up. Later on in the episode, when the SWAT guys, the corrupt SWAT guys, break into the warehouse, they decide to like, okay, hi, we're going to kill you now and blame it on Daredevil because that's what the Kingpin wants. So
Right.
sucks to be
And
you.
it was so rude though too, because they look in the officer's face and they say whatever his name is, like
Sullivan, I think.
Sullivan. Yeah, they say Sullivan is dead. And they
Right.
look right in his face.
Yeah.
And say
right
it
before
on the
right
radio.
before they kill him. Yeah.
Oh, so terrible.
Yeah.
So bad.
That was a big
They're just
douchebag move. Yeah, right there.
so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dick move.
And so Matt gets this information.
Right.
He has this information on the owl. I mean, he's not the owl yet, but
yeah, Leland.
right.
Owsley, yeah.
Yeah. And he's the guy who does all the accounting for all the factions.
Yes. Yeah, he's basically the money guy for all the 5, now 4 rapidly shrinking groups.
Right. And I'm assuming they'll be ever more shrinking.
Yeah.
As Kingpin decides he wants his ring to shrink.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
So this Leland knows where they're laundering and all that stuff, I'm assuming, too.
Right. Right. He knows where the bodies are buried financially.
Right.
Yeah. We get some follow-up with Foggy and Karen after the explosion. They take the lovable, sweet Elena to the hospital.
Thank goodness she's okay.
Yeah, she's okay. This is, of course, the same hospital where Clara works, coincidentally.
Well,
but
it is the same neighborhood.
Same Hell's Kitchen neighborhood. So yeah,
right.
it does make sense. But Foggy turns out has a severe wound to his side.
That was pretty funny, actually.
Because he's like, oh, that must be all this severe, intense pain I've been feeling.
I liked it because he's helping everyone,
right.
And trying to find Matt. And Karen says, "Oh, Foggy, you're bleeding." And he looks down and he goes, "Oh, well, that explains it."
Don't.
This sharp, stinging pain I have in my side. And Karen's, "Oh, okay, we need to get you seen."
Yeah.
Takes him down the hallway.
I like that. And we did have the good scene where Vladimir starts giving up the goods to Matt and then whacks him upside the head with a piece of wood that happens to be nearby.
Mm-hmm.
They start fighting and then they fall through the floor.
Yep. Blam, blam, blam.
Yeah, and which is not good for Vladimir because he's already messed up and now he's even more messed up.
Right.
Because I think Daredevil lands on top of him.
Yeah, and Matt's a little worse for wear too. Mm-hmm. At that point.
But not as bad as Vladimir because Vladimir checks out. He almost He dies.
Right.
But Matt's like, I'm not done with you yet. Pound,
Right.
pound, pound. Which is a cool
Yeah.
line. I was like, that's like a Batman line. It's like,
It is.
you're not dying until I say you're dead because I still need information from you,
Right.
criminal scum. So
Yeah. It was a pretty decent
I like
thing.
that line. Um,
I
let's
like the falling through the floor thing.
yeah.
That was pretty cool.
And then we had a cool scene where the Kingpin, who's been orchestrating everything, it
Ring,
goes ring
ring,
ring. Yeah, calls up Matt
ring,
on
ring,
the radio.
ring, ring.
Yep. Say, hey, buddy. Hey,
Well,
pal.
here's one thing.
Yeah.
Matt heard him, and he says, "I want to talk to the man in the mask." Right.
Right.
And Matt hears him, and this is not his strong suit.
That was a good Kingpin impression, by the way.
No, it wasn't.
It
was
was.
terrible.
It was good. I liked
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So Matt hears it, and this is again not a strong suit talking to bad guys right now.
Right.
Apparently, because
he's having a bad day.
This conversation does not go well for Matt.
No.
He gives away some stuff that he shouldn't give away. He says, you just gave yourself away because now I know what he's gonna give up on you. Well, then that means he hasn't told you anything yet. Oh, and you can see him say, oh, damn it.
Superhero 101 fail. Oh.
Right, exactly. Now, at this point, I think I would just throw the walkie down and get out.
No, but right, because Kingpin's
but it's
got
the monologuing.
Exactly, and Kingpin's got a monologue. He's talking about like, well, it's just really horrible that you're gonna be blamed for all those bombings and bang, 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 bang. Guess what? There's just a sniper that just opened fire on a crowd of people, on cops, and killed them.
Yeah. And then he shows the footage.
You're gonna get blamed for that too.
Right. He shows the footage of Matt kicking ass of all those cops.
Yep. So
at the beginning of the episode.
So Matt, of course, gets mad. He's like, Daredevil smash radio. Throws the radio down. Shattered all over the place.
And with the little dovetail to the two stories, Foggy and Karen are watching TV and they see this footage.
Right.
Karen says, well, that's the guy who saves me. And oddly enough, Foggy says, hey, you can't trust a guy in a mask. And hey, it just happens to be your best friend, dude.
But he doesn't know that.
No, I know he doesn't know it. And Karen is ready. Karen is ready to trust him.
Right.
And Foggy is not.
Yeah. Foggy's, just like, oh, that guy is a menace.
Right. But if you wear a mask, you're hiding something, and it's usually not something good.
Yeah, that's something that's right out of the J. Jonah Jameson playbook.
It sure is. It sure is. Well, considering they were written by the same guy, pretty much, right? I mean, yeah.
Stan the man.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that this is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't correct me, or you can tisk me if you like. Whatever.
Would I ever?
I'm assuming that this is like gonna be the end of the Man in the Mask, and where Daredevil starts to become Daredevil.
You want me to tell you?
I don't care.
Well, you don't want me to correct you, so I can't.
Well, no,
I can't tell you.
He can't be the Man in the Mask anymore, right? Because can he?
Maybe for a little while.
Okay. All right.
Maybe
because his reputation is just completely gone.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
It's not for much longer.
No, because I can't spoil it because you haven't seen this episode, so I have to tread carefully here.
All right. You don't tell me anything.
I'm not telling you anything anymore.
Okay. So what do you give it?
I give this one 8 out of 10 wound repairing road flares.
Which I'm pissed off at you for, because that's what I picked, and now I had to switch it to something else.
Well, see, that's why.
So
yeah.
I picked 8 walkie-talkies.
That's good.
Yeah. I wanted road flares, though.
Well, you should You should have claimed it. I wouldn't have understood.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm okay
No
with
worries.
I'm okay if you claimed it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move to Tuesday nights because we don't have Monday Gotham.
Nope.
Nope. So that's done. So we're gonna talk to The Flash.
Yay.
Yay! Episode 22 of the first season, Rogue Air, because somebody in the writers' room watched Con Air and decided,
Yeah.
hey, that would be a good Flash episode.
Yeah.
But
Whatever.
yeah, this is written. Well, this presumably was Aaron and Todd Helbing. They must have watched Con Air, directed by Doug Aronofsky.
Aronofsky.
Aronofsky. Okay.
Didn't he do some Constantine episodes?
I believe so, but I can't remember exactly.
I remember saying that name.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't feel too bad. But this episode is essentially a good excuse to bring back a lot of the previous rogues that we've seen throughout the season, give them a little bit more to do, which is cool because they kind of and they have some heavies, but they also bring back a lot of the second string rogues.
I'm sorry. Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, okay. Sleepy Hollow. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. So we start off essentially with Cisco showing everybody that, hey, Harrison Wells' wheelchair has a hidden power source in it. And that must have charged up Wells with super speed,
So he could go super fast.
Instead of a phone charger, it's a wheelchair charger that gives you super speed.
Yeah. I guess.
Whenever he sat in it. So it's like,
now,
I don't know. I wonder if it was also a nice butt warmer.
I'm guessing.
It's
like one of those little coffee pads.
Like you would think, okay, I'm going to build it to give himself super speed, but I'm going to be in this chair all day. I want to at least keep my butt warm. So
sure.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Why was Cisco so cagey about it, though?
Well, maybe he wasn't sure how everybody would react.
He built up to it.
Maybe,
so I was thinking
he's got a flair for the dramatic because
he does, definitely.
The way he's all about the hero names and everything. He's about drama. He's a showman.
He drew it out, and I just would have been like, okay, what did you find out? Can you just tell us?
Yeah.
What you found out?
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they follow this energy signature, and then they find Wells hiding out deep within Star Lab's own basement.
Yeah, duh.
I mean, where else is
he going to go? No wonder you couldn't find him.
It's like he's either going to be at his house or at Star Labs. That's the only places he goes, unless he goes to kill somebody,
right,
or threaten them,
right.
But he doesn't.
And all of his shit is there at Star Labs.
Mm-hmm.
So if he is doing something with technology, wouldn't you think to scour all of Star Labs?
Right.
But apparently they didn't.
No. And Barry's kind of smacking himself oh, I thought I looked everywhere, but obviously you didn't look everywhere.
Right.
So they find Wells, and Barry chases him throughout the city. One of those cool little super speed chases that we've seen here a few times. Yeah, he's like, oh, I totally suck because I can't catch him.
Right.
Reverse Flash.
And it was fist. Wasn't it kind of his goal to get Barry just out of Star Labs?
Yeah. It was all a misdirection.
Right.
Really, because
so that he could charge up the.
Yeah, because what he does, the Reverse Flash zips back, frees Peekaboo from her prison cell.
Mm-hmm.
Who almost takes out Caitlin, but then Iris comes in and knocks her out.
Right.
So that was kind of a good thing Iris got to do.
Sure.
It's better than her crabbing on people.
Right.
Yeah. They find Eddie at last.
Right.
He's like, dude, I've been here all the whole time. Where have you been?
Yeah, and he was weird, right?
Yeah, he's just a little bit because along as they find him, Iris happens to find his engagement ring.
Yeah.
Awkward.
It was a little awkward, wasn't it?
Just a little bit.
And Eddie's hair is mussed.
Oh no, the perfect coif.
It's the first time.
That's how he looks roughed up. He just musses his hair.
Yeah, that's it.
So me. But
And
Eddie,
he was a little sweaty.
yeah.
But-
Well, he hasn't probably showered for a while.
Yeah.
He's probably a little funky. You would think like Wells would be spraying him down with Right Guard or something,
Yeah, it was just.
or Axe body spray.
It wasn't that big. Ugh.
I know well, he's a villain. He's going to be evil, so he's going to use Axe
Okay,
body spray.
so Axe body spray.
Exactly.
He just this is the first time I've ever seen him look that out of it. Eddie. He's always like perfect.
Yeah. So anybody out there that still uses Axe body spray, stop using it.
Yes.
It's horrible.
Please. It is the scent of the douchebag.
It's the scent of the desperate and the damned.
That's right.
So
Of
stop
course,
using it.
that is only our opinion. And we are old people. So
Well, as someone who's knows people at work who wear Axe body spray and reek of it.
well,
so
those are probably people that just wear too much of it, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't know. Stop using it, please. Think of humanity, people. Stop using Axe body.
I have problems with people that wear too much of anything.
Right, so do I. I've got like Daredevil problems with my
Yeah.
super senses going,
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Eddie tells everybody that, oh, by the way, Wells and I are apparently related. And his real name is Eobard Thawne, which Cisco's like, hey, it's like from my dream, dude.
Right. And so that confirms that
Yeah.
that Cisco's dreams were actually a real flashback, which is good.
And then he talks about like futuristic tubes because, like the internet is made of tubes. And that
has nothing to do with this episode.
I know, but I just
You
threw
don't.
it. I just threw it in.
Okay.
I just love that the internet is made of
I
tubes.
know.
Look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You made me laugh.
That's what I'm here for. Okay. Wells is developing underground, and he says that like this is the key to Wells returning to Back to the Future.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Gotta get back in time.
Marty, you gotta come back with me. We gotta go back to the future. You like that? That was my Doc Brown. Okay.
Last week
apologies to Christopher Lloyd, but yeah, that was it. We have Cisco identifying the futuristic tubes as the power source that will reactivate the particle accelerator within 36 hours. So there's our ticking clock.
Right.
Because if the particle accelerator gets reactivated, all those supervillains imprisoned in the particle accelerator are not going to be happy. They're going to go bye-byes.
Exactly. And
not that they're happy anyway, because their rights have been taken away and they've been imprisoned in this like lab basement.
Right. Prison-y lab thing.
No lawyers, and we're not even sure they get food or can poop, but
yeah, I still don't know.
Apparently there was a deleted scene. I haven't watched it, but apparently there was a deleted scene where they explain how they get their food.
Okay.
So it's out there.
Maybe that'll be on the DVD.
Yeah, I'm hoping that'll be on the set because I want to watch that. I mean, Cisco, I can always. It's probably on YouTube, but
probably.
Yeah.
Cisco also mentions that he doesn't want to touch it because it's so futuristic that he's sure it will hurt him, right?
Right.
And cause some sort of explosion and.
Maybe I'll get superpowers. Who knows? But he's being a cry little baby.
He is kind of whiny.
And you must be the cry baby.
That's his superhero name, right? Yeah, I thought it was interesting that he's not quite sure what it will do, but he's 100% sure it'll be 36 hours.
Yeah. I don't
Now,
I'd love to know how he nailed down that estimate, but
I think it's because he saw how quickly it activated that quarter of it. If you saw the screen, it was like it activated a quarter of it.
So he did like the math and was like,
right.
Okay, it'll take this much. This times this equals 36 hours.
Right.
Got it.
And that's what I guessed, at least.
That's a good idea.
But I don't understand the intensity of that fear that he had. Well, he didn't even really look at it.
Yeah.
He was just like, oh no, I'm sure it's something
Maybe
I can't.
maybe Cisco had a bad vibe about it.
Oh, you
see,
think?
see what I did there?
You do. I see what you did there. You said vibe.
You said the thing.
You said vibe, and that's
Okay.
what he is.
Yes.
Vibe.
So they decide, okay, I guess we should move all these prisoners to Lian the scenic spot of supervillains all over the Arrow TV show.
It's
Uh,
actually a good idea,
yeah. Now we
even
could.
though same amount of rights,
Yeah.
none.
Now here's the problem I have with this episode. This is my
Mhm.
major sticking point. Where's Argus during all this?
Right.
Because they talk about like, oh, Argus is busy in Starling City, and I'm
Right.
thinking, doesn't Argus have enough guys to spare to escort all these dangerous super criminals to a superhuman prison that could handle them?
You would think so.
But nobody decides like, hey, we know people who know people in Argus. Let's get them on the blower and start talking.
Yeah, these are superhumans. You
So
don't want them to get loose.
so instead we decide, oh, we're going to move them ourselves.
Right. With
Because
the help of another supervillain.
because on top of prison security, we're experts at prison transport.
Right.
What?
It
What?
doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't. And I was like,
And why they would trust him
yeah,
and his sister after what they did.
yeah. This is where I had a major problem.
It's not the best.
Yeah,
Excuse me. It's
yeah.
not the best plot line ever.
And I like when the Joe goes to the, like, back to the CCPD and is like, hey, can we get some help moving these prisoners? And they're like,
Nope.
dude, you guys are like breaking all kinds of laws as it is.
Right. So nope.
With it, like due process. Have you ever heard of due process? So
Which is a completely understandable.
right.
Yeah. But I also see their point. You can't just put them in a regular prison because
Yeah.
they can't be contained in there.
Let's just say Iron Heights needs to upgrade quickly
Yeah, it does.
into a prison that can handle supervillains.
That's right.
So Barry goes for looking for help to pull this off. So he finds Captain Cold hanging out in a bar listening to Foreigner's Cold as Ice.
Yeah.
Willing to sacrifice our love. Dun, 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 dun.
The first album I ever bought with my own money.
And Captain Cold says, okay, I'll do it, but for a price.
Yeah, erase me.
Yeah. He eventually tells everybody at Star Labs, like, yeah, I'll do it if you like erase everything about me.
No.
And, I'm going to trust you to do that because you're good guys and you're stupid. So,
Yeah.
so of course, Barry's like, okie doke, and
Oh.
runs off. And even though Joe's telling him, dude, don't do it. He's a supervillain. You cannot trust him.
Yeah.
So Barry goes off and, of course, erases everything, even though all he had to do was just say, oh, yeah, by the way, I erased it.
Right.
He could have lied. But
or keep it on a
yeah, it's like
flash drive.
a flash drive. I see what
Right.
you did there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I caught that. Well played.
Thank you.
Eddie tells Iris that Wells told him that she's going to marry Barry instead. And Eddie's not down with that. So he's like, okay, I think we're done here.
Yep.
See you later. Bye.
Yeah, and you'd think
I'm not cool with that.
here's the deal. He knows that his lineage goes down to Eobard.
Right.
Right?
So obviously he hooks up with somebody eventually.
Why wouldn't he just hook up with
Iris.
Yeah. To stop that from happening if Iris is okay with it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, I guess, if this is what destined to happen and we create this horrible supervillain down the road, yeah, why don't we change things?
Right. And if you're willing
let's see what
to
happens.
marry me and we're in love, why don't we just
Yep.
Dumb.
And Iris is like, what?
Right.
Yeah, she's what
Dumb.
happened?
I'm sorry.
I know. The Golden
I didn't
Glider. There was
I
some.
didn't hate this episode. I
I
just
didn't
want to
either.
let you know I didn't
Yeah,
hate it.
I liked it too, but there is some dumb
There
things
are some dumb things in it
in this
though.
episode. Golden Glider is flirting with Cisco again, which I thought was adorable.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, she's obviously playing him, and
Sure.
he's just like, pretty, girl, you're pretty.
I like when she says, "I did like kissing you," and Caitlin goes, "You kissed her under duress."
Yeah, because Cisco crushes on Caitlin, so he's got to
I know he
but
has to
even
nip
like
that in the bud.
like Caitlin has like no interest in Cisco that
No,
we know
but
of.
why was she? Why was she all
That's a good point. Why would she be outraged by that?
right?
Why would she care?
Right.
Unless she's just like, I see you as a brother, and I'm concerned about my bro.
That didn't sound like I see you as a brother.
No, it
concerned
didn't.
about
No,
my
it didn't.
bro.
So looks like
That sounded like a little
looks
jealousy to me.
looks like Firestorm might have a little competition.
It does look like that, doesn't it?
Could be,
Or at least
possible. We'll see.
a
Mm-hmm.
little interest there
Yep.
at the very least.
Yep. Cisco reveals that, oh, guess what? We've designed this like huge 18-wheel transport prison because we can do anything here at Star Labs.
Mm-hmm.
And we've retrofitted it with Wells's power source that we've reverse engineered and made a device that will drain metahumans of their powers.
Cisco can do anything.
He is. He's he's magic.
He's MacGyver.
Yeah, exactly. He's like the MacGyver of the DC universe.
He has a paperclip
And
and
a
a
stick
rubber
of
band
chewing gum.
and chewing gum.
Yep.
And he
Yep.
takes
Takes the wrapper and
it's done.
boom, metahuman prison.
That's right.
Drops the mic, walks off. Done.
Exactly.
So they knock out the rogues with
Drops
gas.
Mike.
Knocks out the rogues with gas. They head off. Going through, but of course the power damper malfunctions somehow.
Yeah, and they start fighting.
Yeah, they get their powers back, and they break out of the truck, and they start attacking the Flash and everybody, and they start attacking Captain Cold.
Hilarity ensues.
Yeah, but Cold, puts a stop to it. He's like, okay, we're gonna call it a draw.
Right.
And you guys can go ahead and take off, but you're gonna owe me.
Mm-hmm.
And Flash, I'm gonna leave you alive, and you're gonna owe me because I left you alive.
Mm-hmm.
And you're stupid.
And of course, it was Captain Cold all along.
Right, and this is all part of the plan because he wanted everybody to be indebted to him.
Right. Plus, he wants
because Captain Cold is smarter than you.
Part of his rogues gallery. Gee, I wonder where that comes.
That's catchy.
It is catchy.
Yeah.
And Barry, he's a criminal.
Yeah.
Duh.
So Barry's kicking himself for how could this lying criminal betray me? I'm shocked, I tell you.
You put a scorpion on your back and got in the water.
Excellent point.
Tried to cross.
That whole frog and scorpion thing.
That's right.
Yep.
Because it's his nature, you dummy.
Yep.
So what do you give this episode?
Well, we're done yet.
Okay, what else?
We've got Barry confronting the Reverse Flash.
Oh, okay, let's do that.
Star Labs.
Okay.
And Wells just like, hey, Barry, guess what? I'll show you why I need this accelerator again if you trust me. Barry's burned by now. He's like, no, I'm not going to trust you.
Yeah, no.
So we're getting ready to throw down. And who shows up? The Arrow and Firestorm.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like, here we come to save the day. Right. Yeah, they drop in. Wells, in a very cool moment, whips out the costume ring.
Yeah.
Changes into the Reverse Flight, like the costume pops out of the ring.
Yep.
Just like in the comics.
Awesome.
It was cool.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And so we're kind of hinting that maybe Barry will get his costume ring as well down the line. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Hopefully with a shinier red costume.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the yellow emblem, as they hinted at already.
The white emblem with the Lightning.
Yeah. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. So yeah, everybody throws down. The Flash lures the Reverse Flash into taking a blast from Firestorm. Pew pew pew, and and the arrows is like shooting nanite arrows at
Pew,
Reverse
pew,
Flash.
pew.
Whoop whoop whoop,
Oh, nice.
and the Reverse Flash, it takes away his powers and he falls. He's all like, "Arg, I'm defeated." So
That's right.
And Barry's like, "Ha ha ha, got you, sucker."
Right.
In your
Except
face.
that's really not how it's going to work out. But
No, because we still have another episode yet, the season
right.
finale coming up next week. So
That's right.
so
And
us,
then there's a bit of teasing between Barry and Oliver.
yeah.
And Barry, Oliver says,
Hey, I may need your help.
right,
Not so subtly.
which we will address
Yeah,
in a few minutes.
yeah. So what did you give this episode?
I gave it 8 muddled detectives because
Oh.
I did like the episode because it does set up for the rogue gallery and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah, that was I mean, like it's like, hey, I got to see Firestorm again, and they're like, oh, the arrow's back, and they're
Yeah, and I love crossovers.
yeah. So how you I mean, yes, there was some very dumb things in this episode, but you have to kind of like put that aside and say, oh, there was some really cool stuff too.
Right. The action was good.
Yeah, so I was willing to overlook some stuff.
Me too.
So I give this one 8.5 out of 10 nanite arrows.
Yeah. It was a solid superhero episode,
Mm-hmm.
but there were silly parts in it.
Yes, there were.
So cheesy, yes. Superhero-y though, yes.
Yeah, but sets up the season finale next week, so hopefully we end on a very strong note.
Yeah, I'm hoping to give next week a 9 because Flash has not disappointed me.
No.
This was the closest it's come to disappointing me this week. And it didn't, but I was worried there for a little bit.
Yeah, thankfully the good moments kind of made the bad moments more tolerable.
Yeah, I think if we hadn't had that fight in the end,
it
would have been much lower.
Yeah, if we would have ended with Barry going, "Oh, I totally suck for falling for that."
That would have been like a 7 for me.
Yeah,
easily.
me too. Yeah, I could see that. Me too, maybe.
Okay.
All right, moving on next to iZombie.
Yes, please.
Episode 9, Patriot Brains.
Mm-hmm.
Written by Robert Foreman, directed by Guy B. That picks up 28 milliseconds later, pun intended, if you're a 28 Days Later fan.
Yeah.
So caught that. Nice try.
28 days later, 28
milliseconds later.
weeks later, isn't there another?
Yeah, that's the sequel. Yeah, so I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Liv narrowly avoids being spotted by Blaine, leaving Lowell's building.
Yep.
Dodge that. Liv.
Hoodie comes in handy.
Yeah, it does.
Finally.
Never underestimate the power of the hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from being very fashionable and looks really good on her.
Yeah, it's true.
Because she has a dark hoodie with the white hair and the white pale complexion, and it looks really good.
It looks nice.
It looks good.
I can never pull off a hoodie ever because of this.
Yeah, the bun.
Yeah, it's too big. And if I don't have the bun,
right, it goes everywhere. Yeah, it's like Medusa.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I can't do hats.
You could cut it.
No, I can do a braid. I can do a braid and I can put it through the back of a baseball cap, but that's pretty much it.
I'm just saying you could trim it.
Yeah, right.
I'm just
saying. Have an afro?
No. All right, moving on. Moving on.
Yeah.
Liv confronts Lowell about Blaine's delivery service faux pas. But Lowell tells Liv, I'm in love with you.
Yeah. Do you think that's a bit of a distraction?
I don't think so. I think he was.
No, I think he means it.
I think he meant it.
Yeah, but I also think it's like a.
But I don't think for initially he didn't really see what he did wrong.
Yeah.
Or like the problems, but then eventually over the course of the episode he does.
Sure.
So I think later on he was remorseful. I think he was just like, I know this, I know this looks bad, but I love you and stuff. So
forgive me.
He dropped the L word, so
big time.
You got to give him credit for that. And Liv had the perfect response. Was like, that's something else we need to talk about later or something like that. I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was, yeah. She's
Yeah.
like, I'm not ready to respond to that one yet.
Right.
Let's
She was.
let's table that discussion.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's not why she was with Lowell, unfortunately.
yeah.
And I think it was, he thought about it throughout the episode and he was starting to regret it, but it was the flash of them killing
Yeah, the Vision.
Major's
Yeah,
kid friend,
right.
and that did it for him.
Not the Flash. A
No.
Flash.
A flash.
A Flash.
And not
The
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 kind of
the
flash.
indefinite article, you might say.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Ravi admits to Liv that, oh, by the way, zombie lab rat bit me.
yeah.
But good news, I'm not a zombie.
Right. It's
So,
only
and
after Liv catches him smelling brains.
yeah, I was really glad because I don't want to see Ravi turn into.
Yeah, I was very upset about that last week. I didn't
And-
want him to be a zombie.
And they did explain, like, oh, guess what? The zombie virus can't cross species
Yay.
yet. But
Ugh.
right now it's like, okay, Ravi, you're off the hook for not creating a zombie apocalypse.
Yes,
So
good.
well done.
Right.
Well done for like almost dooming mankind,
Yeah.
but not.
Right.
So kudos.
Yeah.
Now it's Miller time.
No, they know where the rat is, right?
Yes.
Okay. He still has it contained.
I presume he still has it contained.
Okay, good.
Liv, this week's brain a la carte or a la mode is nom nom nom. Is former Army Ranger Everett Adams, who was killed by a paintball or during a paintball game. Liv goes to the paintball range later on in the episode and to work out some issues she's feeling over Lowell while dealing with Everett's post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yep.
So she gets
that's what she inherited.
And she shows off the mad skills that she's picked up, taking out everybody.
He was a sniper.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is important.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Liv and Lowell apparently have zombie sex off camera.
Mm-hmm.
So bow chicka bow.
Hi, Karen.
That was there we go.
Sorry. That one.
Yeah, that one. You might want to number those or something.
No, it has a thing on it. I was biting my nail, so.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my nail's broken.
It's
distracting me.
You need clippers?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Can you tough through it?
Yeah, okay. I can tough it out.
All right.
I'm good.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
All right.
It's my thumbnail, so it's.
Oh no.
It's hurting.
You have another thumb. You've got a spare.
It hurts. It's down below the quick.
Oh, that's not.
Yeah, it hurts.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's why it's bothering me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So Lowell shows Liv's Blaine's blog. Party time, excellent.
Yeah, with the recipes.
Yeah, he's got like the recipes and all these cool, like right out of Hannibal on NBC.
Gross.
Liv looks at this over and is like, okay, Blaine has to die.
Yeah. I'm going to kill him.
I'm going to kill him because he is going to die.
Yeah.
And he is going to die because I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's very matter of fact about him.
Right. Blaine, meanwhile, is giving his henchmen lectures on Kurt Cobain of Nirvana, which I thought was pretty funny.
Now, I thought that was interesting. So does that mean that he's like our age?
Yeah, I would say he's Gen X.
Yeah.
He's on that that kind of like borderline Gen X because, like I listen to stuff, like I grew up with music from the 80s, but and 90s. So he probably is more like the, like that halfway between the Gen X and the millennial, I would think. But
because I kind of went to high school with Foo Fighters, dude.
Oh, Dave Grohl?
Thank you, yes.
You're welcome.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. He's only like the drummer for Nirvana and
Right.
went on to form a highly successful spin-off band, the Foo
Right.
Fighters, and
His mother taught at my high school, and he went to my high school a little bit until he got taken out and put into a
yeah,
private school.
probably future inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That kind
Yep.
of that Dave Grohl.
Exactly.
And then Blaine goes off to meet with a rich zombie guy
Yep.
that's like, hey, I don't want to settle for these like punk teenager skater punk brains. I want some good high quality astronaut brains.
Well, he's pissy because he wanted to go into space. He had
Right.
bought his ticket
Yeah. But he
already.
like, I can't because, hey, you jerk, you scratched me, and now I'm a zombie thanks to you.
You
Idiot.
shot me, you a-hole.
Exactly.
Sorry.
That's okay.
You said it just like that.
You indebted me, you medieval
a-hole.
dickweed.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Major, the ever exasperating Major, goes to a gym looking for the Candyman, or at least some clues on how to find the Candyman. And he's being really obvious about his intentions because he's telling his gym instructor, oh yeah, I would do anything to bulk up, even eat human brains. Do you know anybody like that?
Because he found out that the
Right.
pituitary gland.
Yeah. Could somehow, because he's doing
Right.
all his brain web research.
Right. And Ravi doesn't help. Ravi's like, oh, yes, that sounds plausible because he doesn't want to aim him any other direction.
Right.
But
He probably doesn't know what to do with Major at this point.
right. But
nobody does.
He says, "Oh, that sounds reasonable," because he doesn't want him jumping to any other conclusions. But then by saying that sounds reasonable,
Yeah.
he's reinforcing this in Major's brain, and then Major goes off to go, "Oh, I guess it does sound reasonable. Then I guess I'll follow up on this lead." Oh, what a dummy.
How crazy is that?
Right. And of course it's a gym where there's connections to
to Blaine.
Dude and
yeah. Like, because of course word gets back to Blaine, who says, "Okay, Candyman, go take out Major." So Candyman goes to Major's apartment, but Major's ready because he's like, "Oh, I've got a gun. I'm ready for
Guess what?
And he shoots him 3 times, but apparently having never seen a zombie movie in his life or played a zombie video game.
Well, he doesn't know he's a zombie.
That's true. Well, but if he's eating human brains,
he doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
No,
so maybe
he just thinks he's
maybe
bulking up.
Maybe he figures he's a cannibal.
Yeah, or he's bulking up or whatever.
So he shoots him 3 times in the chest, but that doesn't kill him because guess what? Candyman's a zombie. So he takes off and
yeah, but he doesn't know he takes off.
No, because he goes to get Clive, old buddy Clive, who at this point I would be like, dude, I am never talking to you ever again.
Right.
You betrayed me, so screw you.
Right.
So he somehow manages to convince Clive to come back to his apartment, but guess what? The Candyman's gone, and Clive thinks, okay, Major, you have totally lost it, dude.
And can you blame him?
You're ready for Arkham Asylum, my brother.
And there's a point, I think, where Clive is like, okay, you're doing this for some reason.
Yeah.
What are you trying to pull me into?
Yeah. What's your deal, dude?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think maybe Clive thinks he's up to something to get Clive into something?
I don't know. Maybe he just figures after breaking up with Liv, he went nuts. I don't know.
Could be. But there's a part of me that thinks that maybe Clive thinks he's trying to, he already drew Clive into something in order to get information out of him.
Mm-hmm.
So, Clive might be suspicious of him again.
Yeah, Major's kind of like the ex-boyfriend who cried wolf at this point.
Mm-hmm. So Clive is like, look, I don't know. I cannot say that you didn't do that yourself. There's no body, no blood.
Mm-hmm.
See ya. I wouldn't want to be ya.
Bye.
Yeah. Gotta go.
Yeah. This whole episode wraps up in this very dramatic sequence where Liv is ready to take out Blaine once and for all with a sniper rifle.
Mm-hmm.
she got Lowell to coax Blaine to come over to his apartment to jam.
Right.
We shall jam. Shall we? Let's jam.
Because he's got this cool guitar
I've
and
got this cool guitar that's all signed and everything.
yep.
And yeah.
Come on, let's and Blaine apparently is lured by this. He's into this sort of thing, this music dealio.
Yep.
So
it works. And then Liv lines up Blaine right in her sights, got him ready to take him out. All she has to do is pull the trigger, but she can't do it.
no, because she's a doctor.
Right. And it's only it's not her nature to kill.
Right.
So that's good.
Even if there's a part of her that says killing him would save lives, there's also a part of her that says I just can't kill even one person.
Right.
So I kind of get that, but
yeah, so she ends up texting Lowell going, dude, I can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't. So Lowell at this point, this is where things go horribly wrong. Lowell tries to stab Blaine with a barbecue fork.
Yeah.
To take him out, but doesn't quite work. Lowell's fighting skills are not very high. He failed his dice roll.
Yeah.
And Blaine takes out a gun and blows Lowell's brains out, killing him right in front of Liv.
Yes.
Horribly. So the hot, sexy British sounding cool rocker zombie boyfriend is no more.
Yes. And the case wound up being a drone thing that the new husband killed the ex-husband with a drone.
Which was, we knew we were going to start getting those kinds of crimes because it was inevitable with all these drones around.
Right.
That people are like, oh, I'm a drone hobbyist.
Right.
Which means that, okay, you're kind of creepy because you're the type of guy to fly your drone and maybe position it outside somebody's window and take pictures of them.
Right.
Or apparently kill them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But sadly, this was a bit of a downer episode.
I didn't like the end.
So rest in peace, Lowell.
Yeah.
You were awesome boyfriend material for 4 episodes or whatever, how many ever episodes it was. So rest in peace again, Lowell.
Rest in pieces.
Yeah, rest in pieces, pretty much. So what did you give this episode?
I gave it 8, and this is dedicated to Maggie. 8. All the feels.
Yeah. She posted that on our Phantom Zone Facebook page. So,
yes, and I say yes, Maggie.
Yeah,
I agree. All the feels.
Yeah, this was a big all the feels episode. Totally agree.
Yeah. And what did you give it?
I give this one 8.5 out of 10 barbecue forks.
Yeah. It was a good episode.
Yep, it was. But the best thing out of this whole thing, yes, it's sad that Lowell died, but it amps up the stakes. So there's got to be Liv's got to get payback against Blaine now. It's on. It was on before, but now it's really on.
It's really on. Yeah, I don't know that she'll hesitate the next time if she gets a chance to pull a trigger on him.
Yeah, one would hope because she's got to do something about it because he's
out of control.
He's out of control and he's getting really, really powerful.
Yeah.
So with all his little underlings.
That's right.
His network. Okay, so now we move on to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
And this is a 2-part review because the final 2 episodes were kind of smushed together as a 2-episode finale.
They weren't kind of smushed together. They were smushed together.
Yeah, so we have this is S.O.S. Part 1, which was written by Jeffrey Bell, directed by Vincent Misiano, and Part 2, written by showrunners Jed Whedon, brother of Joss, and Marissa Tancherowin, directed by Billy Gearhart. And this follows up on all the wacky and human stuff we've been talking about.
Wacky.
Seemingly forever.
Yeah.
We've got Gordon teleporting onto the Quinjet with a super strong Inhuman. They hijack the jet and use it to attack Afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
the little sanctuary for Inhumans, or
That's right.
wannabe Inhumans.
Only one building though.
Yep, that's true. Agent May confronts Skye, and she's like, "Hey, I want to see Gonzalez." Well, guess what? Gonzalez is dead. You can't see him.
Mm-hmm.
Skye tells her, "You got to leave. Your people, like S.H.I.E.L.D. is attacking my peoples." And May's like, "I'm not leaving without finding out what happened to Gonzalez." So they fight.
Yep.
Yep.
Fisticuffs.
And Skye wins this one. She knocks May out.
Yep.
So the student has now surpassed.
Become the master.
Become the master. Yes.
When you can snatch the pebble from my hand.
Yes. Grasshopper. May wakes up later to find Coulson and Weaver arguing, which is not the best way to wake up. Coulson doesn't believe that Gonzalez struck first. So he's on Team Adama.
Yeah.
Yeah. Skye finds Raina, and Raina, that wacky Raina, porcupine gal, says that it's the thorn that protects the rose, or in this case, the daisy. Get it?
She's so emo.
Yeah, pretty much. She's like, she probably has like a notebook, and she's like talking about like Bauhaus or
yes.
Susie
and the Banshees.
Sunny day real estate and stuff.
Yeah, and talking about how she's doing like haikus in there, and talking about how there won't ever be another sunny day.
Right. My life is black. Everything around me is black.
It is as black as my cold, cold heart.
Raina tells Skye, "We will never speak again."
Mm-hmm.
And Skye's probably at this point, yes, totally down with that.
Thank goodness.
Thank God. But Skye, you're destined to lead the Inhumans, not Jiaying.
Yep. Well.
So prophecy stuff, foreshadowing. Agent 33 and Ward get a hold of Mockingbird, start interrogating her. Ward says that Bakshi told him that Bobby turned Agent 33 over to Whitehall for mind control.
Mm-hmm.
And Bobby's like, well, I had to make a choice. It was either, like I was undercover with Hydra, I had to do that. I either had to give up the safe house where you might have been, or I had to give up the safe house where dozens of people definitely were.
Right.
So I went with plan A.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, but she doesn't apologize. She's all like, it's
what she had to do.
It is what it is.
Right.
So
it's done already.
Yep. What you gonna do?
Right.
Sucks to be you. Jiaying meets with Raina, says, okay, I'll offer you a position as an advisor. Raina's like, well, only Skye can save the Inhumans, not you.
Mm-hmm.
And Jiaying doesn't take this very well because she immediately stabs Raina in the neck as Skye watches from the shadows.
Yeah.
And it's
not the best eavesdropping thing to see.
Yeah, it's like awkward.
Yeah.
Hi, daughter. Sorry, I just killed this person. You didn't see anything. Move along, move along.
Yeah.
These are not the dead bodies you're looking for.
Exactly. This isn't the dead porcupine you're looking for.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. Skye, at this point, of course, realizes that, hey, maybe Jiaying killed Gonzalez after all.
Yeah.
And not the other way around.
Whoops, maybe May was right.
So I've been working for the bad side all.
Darn it.
Oh, you're killing me.
Yep.
So we have Coulson interrogating Cal, played awesomely by Cal MacLachlan, because I always love watching him act.
He was so good in this episode.
He was. Cal's like, that vial, all those vials that I took in, those were my own design.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of here I admit it, I'm here to take out as many S.H.I.E.L.D. agents as I can.
Right. And doesn't he says something about them being missing. They're missing something.
Yeah, there's like a missing element, which of
Right.
course we find out what that is later on.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a good point. Ward continues torturing Mockingbird because he's a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
She breaks free though, and they fight.
Allow me to say something here.
Yeah, yeah.
I have been saying for this whole time that I've kind of been wishing that Ward,
Would redeem himself.
yeah,
It's not gonna happen.
bye now.
It's
I'm done. I'm done with Ward. Done.
he was firmly on the supervillain train the moment he took out Xena.
Yeah, done.
Done.
I'm done.
Dunzo.
Yep.
Uh,
I'm ready to ditch him.
yeah, they were fighting, or Ward and Mockingbird fight until Agent 33 walks in with a gun. Bobby takes their gun, but Ward gets the advantage and stamps hard on Mockingbird's leg.
Oh.
It's like, you didn't need that leg.
It's like when I was watching the game where Joe Theismann broke his leg.
Yeah. It was pretty nasty. It's
It was
like,
bad.
once again, Ward, you're a jerk.
Yeah, and the Foley people were really good.
Yeah, that was good.
It sounded really.
That was some good celery snapping.
Yeah. Spaghetti. It sounds like spaghetti.
It could have been both. I've heard both.
Yeah.
Bobby, to her credit, says, "I don't care if you kill me or what."
Yep, she doesn't.
Nope. She's like, "I'm not apologizing."
Mm-hmm.
So never get into an argument with her because you're not going to win that one.
And they do this thing to make her feel like Agent 33 did, where they paralyze her.
Yeah.
And make her feel pain at the same time.
Right.
And then
sticks like little sticks under her fingernails, and
right.
That's pretty nasty.
And then when she comes out of the paralytic, she's going to feel all that pain all at once.
Yeah.
And that is just rude. That's what I think. Rude.
How, what's the proper etiquette for torturing somebody with finger or like wood underneath?
You got to build up to it.
Yeah.
What is the point?
I know.
Just doing it all at once.
Dr. Hannibal Lecter would not approve. Let's put it that way.
I'm saying it's not torture.
Right.
If you do it this way, right?
Exactly.
Because what are you trying to get out of it?
He's just a sadist. That's
right.
all.
Well, he wants an apology.
Well, he wants to get an apology to Agent 33. Ward doesn't care about the apology. He just wants it for Agent 33's sake.
Right.
I'm guessing.
Right.
Yeah.
And then at this point, he just wants to hurt her.
Right. He gets off on it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm done. He's adorable. Like,
yeah.
In real life, he is.
I'm sure he's a lovable snuggle bunny in real life, but
no, I mean how he looks, and I'm just objectifying him right now.
Okay.
I don't know anything about him personally.
I'm sure he's okay with it. If you want to objectify him.
I have no other
recourse
thing to talk about because I don't know him personally or anything.
Right.
But as far as Ward goes, I'm out.
So you officially feel betrayed by Ward.
I feel completely betrayed. Yep. I thought it was a good thing that he left her Kara there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was his nefarious plan the whole time.
Because he's evil.
I'm out.
All right. Cal's heart stops. So Coulson takes him to the infirmary. Simmons revives him with adrenaline, which turns out to be a big mistake. Because Cal wakes up fully transformed into Mr. Hyde. Dun, dun, dun.
Cal Smash.
Calvin Zabo Smash.
Yep.
And
all his nails grew and his neck was all bulgy. And
yeah.
It was a pretty good effect.
Yes. They try to take him down with those little icer guns, but that's not doing it.
Wasn't happening.
The only thing that really stops him is they pin him to a wall with a car.
Yeah.
And that just holds him there.
Right. Until the adrenaline wears off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Ward and Agent 33, they're not done with Mockingbird yet because they strap her to a chair rigged to shoot somebody, whoever comes through the door, and have her watch.
Right. Because they know someone's going to try and rescue her.
Exactly. So instead of killing her, they could have just killed her at this point, but they don't. They want her to suffer.
Right. They want her to watch whoever it is that comes
Yeah.
to save her die.
So,
And I guess they're assuming it's going to be Agent May, right?
I would think.
Yeah.
But it's not Agent May, as we find out.
It's her ex.
It's her ex, yeah. Mr. Hyde agrees to help Coulson,
Coulson was
realizing...
great in this episode.
Yeah, Coulson kind of wins him over. He's been trying, throughout the episode to kind of win him over. He basically explains to Cal that Jiaying is a danger to Sky.
Right.
And that's what brings him over. It's like, okay, Cal, if you want to protect your daughter, you're gonna have to stop Jiaying because she's gonna hurt Sky.
Right. By this time, they know what she's done.
Yeah.
That she has killed
Mm-hmm.
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And sabotaged Afterlife.
Right.
To make it look like S.H.I.E.L.D. attacked them so that she can declare war.
Right.
Essentially. So he tells Cal all this information and says, well, this means trouble.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to help us or Daisy's going to get it.
Exactly. Coulson, they activate this emergency beacon to warn everybody in S.H.I.E.L.D. Jiaying wants this beacon amped up because she wants everybody in S.H.I.E.L.D. to come to where they are,
right?
So that she can take them all out at once with this little bag of Terrigen crystals that she's got.
Right.
Weaver and the other agents are like, no, we're not going to do that. But then until Jiaying takes a few of those agents, throws them in a chamber somewhere, and tosses in one of the crystals, and they all like turn into calcified statue things.
Yeah.
Just like Gonzalez did.
Yeah.
So
that
they're
was
like,
bad.
well, maybe we will amp up the beacon.
Pump up the jam. Pump it up. Yeah.
Get your body moving.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're Terrigen crystals laced with diviner metal.
Right.
And it reveals all the Inhumans and kills all the humans.
Right. So you either find out at this point, if you're an Inhuman, you get to live as an Inhuman, or you die as a human.
Right.
So it's either or. Hunter and May finally track down Ward's facility where they're keeping Bobby. May uses her radio to trick Agent 33 to go to the south side of the building, disguised with May's face.
Yep.
So at this point, we kind of know what's going to happen.
And Ward.
Yeah, Ward ends up shooting Agent 33 by mistake and kills his own girlfriend.
Yeah.
Aha!
Mm-hmm.
So, you totally had that coming.
That's right.
Yep.
I can't feel bad for him.
Nope, he totally had it coming. Hunter opens the door, of course, to Bobby's room, but Bobby leans over and takes the bullet herself because she's so badass.
Yep.
Yep. So that saving Hunter's life.
But it's just a flesh wound.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not, but she's not dead.
She's not dead. She's merely resting.
No, she's not resting either. But,
yeah.
But they do get her out of there.
She tips over on the floor, so she's probably like, okay, you could tip me up now. That would be great because I'm kind of bleeding here and my leg's broken and all kinds of stuff. I'm not doing well. I could use a Band-Aid.
Bactine.
Maybe a nice cup of cocoa.
In Bloom County, they always said Bactine.
Yeah. I love Bloom County.
I know, me too.
Memories. Sky confronts Jiaying. Jiaying, as Mother of the Year, begins sucking the life force out of Sky.
Not good.
Not good.
No.
But Sky uses her cool quick powers to knock the Quinjet that has all these crystals, with the Terrigen crystals, into the ocean.
Yep.
Cal, at this point, shows up and decides, "Ooh, let me give you a big bear hug, honey." Crush.
Which one? He says it's either my daughter,
yeah,
or my ex, and he picks his daughter.
Which was the right way to go.
I think so too.
He chose wisely.
He did. So he keeps Daisy alive and he kills Jiaying, and that's the end of Jiaying.
Yep.
And
Bye.
because of that,
Mm-hmm.
they wipe Cal's memories
Yep.
and they allow him to live.
Yeah, he lives a nice, peaceful life as a veterinarian.
Yeah.
Dr. Winslow.
That was very sweet.
And it's also kind of sad because he doesn't recognize Sky because he's been Tahiti'd.
Well,
And
it's better than
and
keeping him locked up.
she introduces herself to him as Daisy.
Yeah.
So
It was
that's kind
kind
of
of
sad.
sweet.
Oh, the feels. Ah.
Yeah, more feels.
Yeah, more feels. Before all that all happened though, Fitz, Mac, and Coulson battle Gordon until Gordon teleports behind Fitz and ends up impaled on a stick.
Right. Ouch. Yeah, they keep him controlled in a room.
Yeah, right.
And he says, why can I not get out of the room? And Fitz says, science.
Yep.
Which I like.
Yeah.
And then he teleports all over the place and it's blam right into the spike.
Yep.
And Fitz was like, ugh.
Bum, 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 bum. Yep. Gordon drops the crystal that he had in his hand, but Coulson catches it just before it hits the floor. However, of course, the crystal begins calcifying Coulson until Mac, in a totally unexpected move, takes his axe and chops Coulson's arm off.
Yeah. Well, his forearm.
Yes, forearm, his lower arm, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, it's like...
I like... Coulson is pretty okay with it. I mean, he's really lackadaisical about it.
Yeah, I mean, only Coulson could be like so deadpan about it and going, huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are you going to do about your arm? And he goes, I don't know. I'm sure there's something I can do about it.
I've got options.
Right. And then they talk about Mac and say, well, I guess Mac's back. And he goes, well, yeah, he's got to make up for the fact that he chopped off my arm without asking me about it. I love his delivery throughout this whole episode.
Right.
He was just deadpan and with the one-liners, left, right, left, right, left, right. It was great.
Coulson's in total Zen mode. He's just like, okay, whatever. I'm just going with everything. And
he was great in this episode. So great.
So
if he wasn't in this show, I would not be watching. Seriously, because
so props to Clark Gregg.
Clark Gregg is amazing in this show.
Yep. So rest in peace, Coulson's left arm.
Yeah.
So we have May, who asked for some time off, which is very unlike Agent May.
It is, but her hub's back.
Yeah, she's hinting that she might pick up things with Andrew.
And Andrew's kind of hinting at that as well.
Yeah, played by Blair Underwood, making his return. And in a very interesting and very subtle moment, Andrew talks about recommendations he's got for Coulson's new program. And hinting that Sky may be ready for it.
That's right.
So for
watching over Inhumans, maybe?
Well, modern comics fans know that in the comics, Quake ends up part of Nick Fury's Secret Warriors group, which is his little task force of superpowered S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. And she kind of heads up that group for him.
And that would include Inhumans, I'm assuming.
Because other people with superpowers.
Right.
But yeah.
But I mean, that would be predictable.
So maybe with the third season, we could see the formation of the Secret Warriors group, which would be very cool.
That would be great.
That would be awesome. I'm totally on board for that because
me too.
I love. It's a very cool series. I loved it. Written by Jonathan Hickman, who's one of my favorite writers at the moment. So highly recommended if you haven't checked it out.
Cool.
Ward, everybody's buddy Ward, is off moping in a bar. Ends up taking over leadership of Hydra because there's nobody else to take it over. So I guess I'll do it.
You want to describe my face right now?
They don't care one whit face.
No, I'm just angry. Stupid Ward. Why couldn't you just be good, Ward?
See, my wife Lori has that exact same reaction, but she's had it ever since last season when he killed Xena, and now at that point she was just like, "Okay, I'm done with you. You
So,
betrayed me."
so mad.
Yeah. Cal. Oh, wait, we talked about Cal being one. The Terrigen crystals, those wacky Terrigen crystals.
Well, we didn't talk all about Ward there. Ward was in the bar, but then a bunch of Hydra agents came up,
Yeah.
and he was going to be the leader.
Yeah. Well, he takes over as leader. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
He kills the guy that wanted to do it. He's like, no, 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 I'm taking it over.
Right. And he says, "So now do you get who's going to be the leader?" And the guy goes,
Yep.
"Yes, hail Hydra."
Mm-hmm.
And he sends him out.
You're the man. Yes. We're following
So
you
now
now.
he's got a posse, and he's sulky, and
He's got his crew.
and
He's got his Hydra crew. Those Terrigen crystals at the bottom of the ocean. Not a good. Somebody kind of like forgot to clean those up
Yeah, they need to go out there and check those out.
because Terrigen mists were like leaking out into the water, and they're shown taking in by fish who end up being processed and turned into fish oil.
Right. Not good.
So next time you go picking up some little supplements, you may want to skip the fish oil unless you want to be calcified or turned into an inhuman.
Right.
So if you want to roll that dice,
Well, you
go.
know what? I wouldn't mind being an inhuman.
Okay, but you don't know. There's no guarantee though. It's not like, okay, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna be an inhuman. You don't know. You could die.
Yeah.
It's a Russian roulette kind of thing. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe in a year.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'll put the can on the shelf and see.
Okay.
In a year, maybe.
All right. Lastly, in a very frustrating moment for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans, Fitz finally asks Simmons out to dinner, and she agrees. So they finally, these two have had like the worst ever.
I'm
ever
so
since,
upset by this.
Yeah, I don't blame you because it's like Lori at this point threw up her hand. She's like, why do they keep torturing these poor two characters?
I know.
Like this? So Fitz goes off to like, hey, I'm gonna get ready for our date. Simmons decides, that doesn't look right with looking at that containment chamber
The
with
obelisk.
the Kree artifact obelisk.
Yeah.
Which has been like liquefying and then magically reforming when nobody's looking.
Right.
Or, so of course there's nothing right with it. It's an alien artifact, but she goes like, okay, I'll go take a look. And of course what happens? The artifact bursts out, envelops her in black goo, and then reforms back like, okay, I did nothing. I'm, perfectly back.
Yep.
So it's like freeze tag.
Yep. Yep. So where is she?
So
Whoops.
So at this point, I'm wondering is like, well, does Simmons turn into Venom? Because is that Kree artifact a symbiote?
That's what it looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah. So is that like an alien symbiote? Maybe, I don't know.
I doubt that she's gonna be Venom though, because
I know. But something's going on there. But
yeah,
it was black and it turns to liquid and then could shape itself. So I'm thinking, it's a symbiote.
Yeah. Gross.
We'll find. Tune in next season in September or October or whenever to find out what happens to Simmons.
Or Fitz.
Yeah. So, and how we're going to kick Fitz and Simmons down the stairs again in season 3.
So wrong.
Yep.
All right.
So, what did you give this episode?
I gave it, and let's see if you get this reference. I hope you do. 9.5 skins of evil.
Ooh, very nice. Tasha Yar.
Thank you.
Star Trek Next Year. Come on. That's easy.
Good.
You gotta give me harder than that. Okay. I'm going to get that one.
Good.
That's episode 22 of season 1 of Star Trek The Next Generation.
Ooh, very nice. And for anyone who doesn't know, Tasha Yar, when she dies on Star Trek The Next Generation, gets eaten in a pool of black goo that does not look unlike.
No, just better special effects.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Karen's my witness. I'm not typing, looking anything up. Did all that from memory.
You did.
So.
Very nice.
Thank you. All right. Lastly.
Oh, what did you give it? You didn't give your...
Oh, I didn't give my rating. I'm sorry. 9 out of 10 bottles of Terrigen flavored fish oil.
Very nice. This was by far my favorite episode this week.
Yeah,
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, you think so? You think that was
It was. I gave it 9.5.
Okay, so is this our episode of the week?
Well, mine.
Or yours, that's
Oh,
true.
and it was, well, it was equal to Arrow for you.
No, yeah, it was equal, but since we're both kind of very high on it, I give it 9, you gave it 9.5.
Yeah.
So this we'll declare this one our episode of the week. How's
Okay.
that?
That
Okay.
works for me.
All right. So therefore, that will be the title. S.O.S.
S.O.S? Okay.
S.O.S. is the title.
All right.
You convinced me. I was going to go with my name is Oliver Queen because it sounded like a cooler title, but you convinced me.
Okay.
Yeah. Your horrified look just reassured me that I'm making the right decision with this.
Thank you.
Okay. Because yes, Arrow, episode 22 of the 3rd season. My name is Oliver Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Written by executive producer Mark Guggenheim and Jake Coburn, directed by John Baring. All right, so we have wackiness ensuing in Nanda Parbat. As we left off, our heroes' allies were left in a dungeon, ready to die with the evil Omega virus. But this week they wake up, they're like, hey, we're not dead. What happens? Malcolm Merlin's like, oh, I secretly injected all of you and vaccinated all of you, so now you're immune to the virus. Cool, huh? So, yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
No.
But
Dumb.
Felicity's like, well, okay, we're still in the cell. How are we going to get out?
Right.
But who shows up to save the day?
The Flash.
The Flash. Our man, Barry Allen.
That's right.
Coming
Because
to the rescue.
Oliver asked him for help.
Yeah, just like one day earlier in Central City.
That's right.
Through the magic of television, he appears in a cameo. He shows up, frees everybody, frees Katana, tells everybody that, guys, you can still trust Oliver. He just helped me out with the Reverse Flash, so he's cool.
Yeah, he
Um,
does.
yeah, and then he's like, well, I'd like to stay and help you guys solve this really important thing with like Omega viruses and all, but I gotta get back to Central City.
Right. Because there's a bunch of rogues that I just
Well, no, because I gotta deal with my arch enemy, the guy who killed my mom.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. So
I just let a bunch of criminals out of jail. I gotta work on that.
Yeah, I've had a bad week.
Right.
So yeah. So you go do your thing. That's your show.
Barry in front of Merlin.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, thanks for giving away my name to a supervillain."
Yeah, you know who did it? Felicity.
Yeah, I know. Felicity's always giving away his alter ego. This is like the 4th time, right?
Yeah. Well, when he's not giving away himself.
I know. He's a dummy. So now Merlin knows.
At this point, you have to wonder why Barry's even wearing the mask.
I know.
But anyway.
Well, now that Iris knows, everybody knows.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that it's not broadcast on like the scoreboard at the ballpark in Central City.
Cam?
The Kiss Cam. Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, in a plane above Starling City, Ra's al Ghul's plane suddenly malfunctions because they were getting ready to drop the Omega virus on Starling City.
That's right.
It starts losing altitude, and Ra's is like, Nyssa, you betrayed me, even though I've treated you like crap. But guess what? It's not Nyssa after all. Oliver steps in and is like, my name is Oliver Queen.
That's right.
Hence the title of this episode. So therefore.
And he has sabotaged things.
Yep. So I've been fooling you all along, and you fell for it like the jerk you are.
Yeah. But what he meant to do was crash the plane.
Right.
Which really wouldn't have solved anything.
No.
The virus still would have been.
And everybody would have been dead.
Right.
Yeah.
So. Not the best plan.
No, they fight. Roz and Oliver fight, of course. But Roz subdues them both Nyssa and Oliver, because he's Ra's al Ghul. He's like, please takes the parachutes, takes the Omega virus, jumps out of the plane, bye,
Mm-hmm.
and leaving Oliver to have to pilot the plane to a rocky but ultimately safe landing.
Right. Because he knows how to do everything.
Well, we know he knows how to fly a plane. It's been talked about
I
before.
know. Still.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Um, Oliver and Nyssa end up showing up in Ray's lab later on.
I'm going to be disparaging about this episode. And I know I said before on the other ones that there were some stupid parts, but I
Yeah.
like the episode. I am not going to qualify this one.
This is not the case where you can
No.
overlook some stuff.
Nope.
Although they're not greeted very warmly because Diggle immediately decks Oliver.
Hello. He kidnapped his wife.
Exactly. So it's not like Oliver didn't have it coming.
No, he did have it coming.
He totally had it. And Oliver's like, dude, the only way I could have gotten to stop the League of Assassins was to infiltrate them from inside.
Still,
And Diggle's like, really?
you
Really?
took my wife while my baby was alone in my apartment.
Yeah, you left my baby alone in an apartment when
No,
yeah. Not feeling
not
it.
cool.
Yeah. And Felicity at this point, she's like, Oliver, you decided you were already going to kill yourself in that plane, weren't you? You were
Yeah.
already going to
You
die.
betrayed us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go cry some more because I'm written very badly this
Now
season.
she's emo. Yeah.
I mean, all she does now is cry.
Yeah.
So, Arrow Riders, get your act together really
I know.
fast.
I like the drop the
you're-
mic thing she did a couple episodes ago. That was cool.
Yeah.
But that was on the Flash, right?
Yes, it was when she defeated the Bug-Eyed Bandit. She's written so much better on the Flash than she is on her own show.
Right. I agree.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Okay, the team figures out that Roz will unleash the virus at a building owned by Damien Dark, the lame Titans supervillain.
Oddly enough,
Yep.
his nemesis.
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul's nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
The Arrow finds and confronts Dark, but guess what? Dark's actually left the building.
Yep. Not Dark.
Yep, not Dark. Who's played by the guy who plays the Swede on Hell on Wheels.
Mm-hmm.
So if you watch Hell on Wheels, you know who I'm talking about by the Swede. Can't remember the actor's name.
Oh, and his name isn't here.
Yeah, that's all right. Ross tells Oliver that, oh, guess what? I'm going to release the virus in 4 points across the city. So you're going to have to split your team up to stop it and save everybody.
Yeah. And Laurel goes to her dad.
Yeah, Laurel goes to her dad. She's like, Dad, there's like this horrible Omega virus we got to stop. And you've been like boozing it up again.
Mm-hmm. And he says,
And
who told you this, Oliver?
Yeah. And to her credit, Laurel's like, I'm an alcoholic. I can spot it. My alcoholic sense was tingling.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's true.
it is true.
He said,
So,
I got it under control. It's only 2 drinks a day. You're an alcoholic. It should
Yeah.
be no drinks a day.
yeah, pretty much. So
Sorry, that was a horrible impression of him, but
that's okay. He's been written horribly this season too.
yeah,
So
he has.
Oliver tells Felicity that he can't beat Roz. Like, I can't beat him. But Felicity, of course, is like, if you fight to live, not to die,
Don't fight to die.
you can beat
Fight to
Roz.
live.
Yeah. And I'm just sitting there
the
going,
worst line.
What?
And she says it so dramatically. It was like, not only could I see it coming down Main Street when she said it, she says, don't fight to die, fight to live. And I'm thinking, oh, God, that is.
We're on total melodrama overload.
That is the worst. It is the worst. I was just.
Diggle finds his League of Assassin target, but ends up almost getting killed until he's saved by Thea Queen, dressed up as Speedy. Yeah. Well, not officially Speedy
She's not
yet,
named Speedy yet.
but she's wearing Roy's costume.
Right.
So I gotta wonder how Roy's costume fits so well on her. But
they are kind of the same height.
Yeah, but build.
I know.
Come on, it's like beefy,
I know.
hunky guy build versus like little.
Maybe she's got a belt on.
She's got pixie build. I don't know. Something's going on there.
She got a belt on.
She stopped by for alterations on their way to the super battle.
Sure.
To the battle.
Sure.
Okay. Unfortunately, though, they discover the virus is not in a vial after all, but inside the bodies of the League assassins.
Yeah, that was gross.
So, in there, the guy was like spewing gas everywhere, and it's like he had bad tacos or something. It was pretty.
Gross.
I don't know.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, he was stopped by Taco Bell. That's why he was like, it wasn't pretty. Let's put it that way.
No.
Oliver confronts
Toxic Taco Bell.
pretty much. Oliver confronts Starling City Dam because we got to have a cool setting for a final showdown. As while Ray and Felicity work together to find an antidote to the virus.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can figure it out because nobody else could.
Of course.
Yeah, because they're magic.
They're the smartest people ever.
That's right. I'm surprised Cisco didn't fix it or figure it out.
They
Yeah.
could have called him for input, and we didn't
Yeah, why
know.
not? Yeah. Probably would have solved it like that.
Yeah.
Felicity begs Ray to save Oliver from getting shot by one of Laurel's dad's idiot police officers.
Snipery dudes. Yeah.
Yes, but he can't leave. Oliver fights Roz, stabs him. So yay, Oliver, for now that he got this pep talk from Felicity, he can take out Ra's al Ghul and
He
does.
fought to live.
Not to die. Roz gives Oliver his ring.
I feel like stabbing myself.
Yeah, he gives it. Yeah, Roz gives Oliver his Ming the Merciless ring.
Yeah.
From Flash Gordon.
I chose wisely.
Complete with that, sound effect from Flash Gordon. But Oliver ends up getting shot anyway by the Starling City Police officer.
Mm-hmm.
He falls into the dam below. But he's caught by the Atom.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the Atom, of course.
Felicity.
It's Felicity in the Atom suit, the Iron Atom suit.
Uh-huh. Can you see Pepper?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Pepper
because in the Marvel comics, Pepper Potts wearing Tony Stark's costume, she becomes Rescue.
Right. That's essentially what is happening here.
She's like the DC universe version of Rescue.
Right.
Because she rescues Oliver. Hey, Oliver thanks everybody. Say thanks everybody. But I'm going to retire out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I know, I need to protect the city, and the city's been almost plagued with everything, but...
Hey, but I think the city's okay now. Yeah, I saved it.
Yeah, and I really want to be Felicity because she's the best.
She's the ginchiest.
Yeah, this is where we go into total fanfic mode.
Yeah. We're going to run off into the sunset in front of a really bad green screen.
And beside, I can't be the Arrow anymore because Roz destroyed that identity.
Right. So you guys take care of the city for me.
And I couldn't possibly come back in season 4 as Green Arrow.
What do you think? And then he says goodbye to each person in turn.
Right.
Thea, I think I'll be the Red Arrow. No, you're going to be Speedy. And then he goes to Diggle. I still can't forgive you. Well,
that's what Diggle says to him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But I may continue protecting Starling City anyway.
Right. Well, you're a hero, dude, and you might want to think about getting a costume
or a mask. Yeah, he says. Yeah. The two. But they do shake hands.
Yeah.
So at least there's possibly the chance they could work that out.
Right. And there's a lot of speculation on what's going to happen. Now, he has said, the actor who plays Diggle has said that there is a costume in his future next season, that they've already talked to him about it.
Now, they've denied that he's going to be revealed to be John Stewart Diggle.
Right.
Becoming the Green Lantern, Hal Jordan's replacement.
Right.
But, and they've denied that. But the thing is, though, they've been teasing Green Lantern.
I know.
A little bit. So somebody's going to be, so yeah, they're saying they've teased Ferris Air. They've said that one of the pilots from Ferris Air is missing.
Mm-hmm.
So who's, if Hal doesn't leave John the ring,
Right.
or somehow he finds Hal Jordan who gives
His
him the
name is
ring.
John.
Yeah, so it's we'll see,
Yeah.
but to be fair, like John Diggle could end up becoming like the Guardian or you name it. So
Right. And then, of course, back
some
at the loft,
the vigilante, who knows?
Merlin and Thea have their little talk, and that's all fraught with angst.
Yeah.
And then Oliver comes in and has a talk with him and gives him the freaking ring.
Yeah. So, okay, I guess here's your part of the deal for helping us out.
Dumb.
Yep.
Just dumb.
So, what happens? Of course, Merlin ends up going back to Nanda Parbat and telling Nissa, well, like this is all part of the plan. All this for the past several months, it's all my doing. I figured this out.
Yep.
So you and everybody else kneel before Merlin.
Right.
Now
Now I am Roz.
Now I am Roz. So kneel before me, because boo-ha-ha, I win. Ray, as we have to follow up with Ray.
Oh yes, Ray.
Poor Ray is tinkering with his Iron Atom suit. He's playing around, finally decides, hey, maybe I want to figure out how to shrink because I'm the atom and I need to shrink.
Right.
So he wants to adjust it to shrink to a subatomic level. But what happens? The suit explodes.
Ouchie.
And the windows blow out, and cliffhanger ending. Oh, is Ray dead? No, of course not, because he's going to be on Legends of Tomorrow.
Right.
We've seen him in the trailer. So
and I'm assuming what that is it transforms him into the atom.
Or something. Who knows?
Well.
Yeah. Or unless maybe he starts off season 4 shrunk really tiny.
Right.
Yeah. So
That's
he has
what
to figure out how to get his back to normal size. Who knows? Yeah.
Hey, I'm down here, everybody. Don't step on me.
Yep. That's cute. And lastly, of course, we're left with Oliver and Felicity driving along the coastline. La la la.
Horrible green screen in back of them. It's the worst.
Yep.
And here's what I wanted to happen. I wanted them to hold hands and drive off the cliff. Like Thelma and Louise. Please. Just go. I'm so tired of this.
Yep. So we after all this, we end season 3 on a surprisingly happy note. Because he's like, he tells Felicity that he's happy and no, everything's good, and you're like, wait, what? That's it? That's the ending?
Yeah.
Okay. So, dare I ask what your score was?
I wanted to give this a 6 so bad. I really did. I'm giving it a 7. 7 badly passed rings.
Well, I was going to give this one a little higher, but you've kind of, after talking about this episode, I need to give it a little lower.
You do?
Yeah,
Why?
I do. Because I've kind of come to the realization that I'm going to sound like an idiot if I don't mark this a little lower.
You can give it a 9.
No, I'm not going to give it a 9 now. I was, because I was like, oh, we got the Flash and all that, but no. There's too many dumb things in this.
Yeah, this episode just was not an Arrow episode.
So I'm dropping this down to 8 out of 10 exploding Iron Atom suits.
Yeah. See, the Atom thing I liked because that has a big potential. That should have been the cliffhanger.
Right.
And it should have ended there. But the whole thing in the car, I was just like, no.
Right.
No. N-O.
Right.
Bad Atom writers. Bad.
Bad Arrow writers.
Yeah, Arrow writers.
Yeah. So yep, that's about it. That's all for this week.
But we do have feedback.
So let's hear some feedback.
And it's from Justina.
Ooh,
hi, Justina. You haven't heard it yet.
No, I haven't, so I'm excited to hear.
Now, she did like the Arrow.
Now, where was this feedback at?
Oh, she sent it through email.
Email.
That's right.
All right.
So, let me play it, and you will enjoy it, I think.
Okay.
Hi, Karen and Charles. I really love the Fandom Zone. You guys are like superheroes because you can watch all of these TV shows in 1 week and take notes on them and produce an episode on them. And I really appreciate all that hard work. I, however, was only able to watch 2 episodes this week, so I thought I'd send in my thoughts on them. The first one is Flash Rogue Air. I give this episode 9 out of 10 exploded flight plans.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really liked it.
Okay.
I really like the man that Barry Allen is. I like the faith that he has in humanity and that he even believed that Captain Cold could be a good man. I think quote of the week should go to Wentworth Miller because of his bad guys are always going to be bad speech. You expected me to be something other than what I am, so the person you're really mad at is yourself. I love that
Agreed.
part.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you notice the record playing in the jukebox when Barry goes to meet Captain Cold at the bar?
Yep.
Oh, we
Cold
did.
as ice. I see where you're going with that. Next is the Arrow finale, which I gave 10 out of 10 human bioweapons. I
She
think
really
that it was
liked
a
it.
really
Yeah, she
nice
liked it.
bookend to have Oliver and Felicity to go on their first date in the first episode of the season, and then bookend it with them riding off into the sunset, quite literally. My Felicity heart is so happy.
See, she's the
Quote of the week
shipper.
has to go to Barry. Wow, you guys have a hot tub? And thanks, Felicity. You just gave away my secret identity to a supervillain. So, the Arrow is dead. Does that mean when Oliver and Felicity return, Oliver will become the Green Arrow? I am
Okay.
super
See, you
excited
guys are
because
on
I
the
saw
same
the
wavelength.
Legends of Tomorrow trailer this morning, and I love Katie lots. I hope you guys cover that show next year.
We are going to.
Thank you very much for doing this podcast. I love that there's always a chance of singing, impressions, and learning a fun fact that has nothing to do with my shows. And Karen, could you please tease Charles some more with some stuff that he wants? Because I love when he has to do the Gollum voice. Have a great week.
So there we go.
We wants it. We wants the process. Gives us to us.
I thought you'd like it because you and she brought up the same points, and you hadn't heard it yet.
No,
So-
no. That's. I've got my finger on the pulse of our listeners.
That's right. You sure do. And Justina, you're great. Thanks
Yeah,
for sending in
thank
the
you, Just.
feedback.
That was adorable. So, points to Justina.
Yeah,
Big
I love
time.
her. She's one of my favorite people. So
That was very sweet. So, hopefully, you're not too mad at us for our review of
well,
the Arrow episode.
I have
but-
to say, she knows I'm not a shipper,
Okay.
so it's probably not a big shock to her that
Well,
I'm
I can see where she's coming from, especially knowing that she's a shipper.
right.
Because from a shipper point of view, that's a 10 out of 10.
It was right. I agree.
So from her perspective, I totally get that.
Yeah, me too.
So,
But I think Oliver should be playing the field, like
yes.
the actual comic book Oliver.
Yeah.
So
And it's unfortunately not named. The show is not named Felicity.
right.
It's
And
named Arrow. So
we forgot to bring up one thing. Merlin is an actual villain
Yes, he is.
in the comic book. Merlin.
Yes. Yeah, he
So-
has been. That's one of that's one of Green Arrow's major rogues.
So now he's Roz.
Well, but will he stay that way?
Right. But I don't get it.
I don't see that lasting.
I don't get the whole Dread Pirate Roberts Ra's al Ghul thing.
I don't either.
Really
I don't.
don't.
It's not a title. It's one dude,
Right.
and
And-
he fights Batman. Oh,
Right. And he does. He fights Batman.
yeah.
He's not in Green Arrow.
No, he wants.
Well-
yeah. And but
He's in the JLA
right,
comics every once in a while, but he's mostly in Batman.
right.
So, whatever.
Yeah.
Hand wave.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the least part of
Right.
this episode that I'm upset with.
Right.
So if you want to be like Justina and give your feedback,
You don't have to record it. You can just
no, you
know-
don't, but that's awesome.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
But
You can tweet us
yes.
at FandomZoneCast
Mm-hmm.
or at Elevaria
Yes.
or at Charles Skaggs,
On the Twitter machine.
or You can leave feedback on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and we are Fandom Zone Podcast on Facebook.
Yes. Right.
Or you can email us at fandomzonecast@gmail.com.
Right.
And
We're everywhere.
that's right. And my at Oliveria Twitter handle has
Mhm.
my information in my bio. And Charles, now it's time for your Dino Sour was back up.
Fred's back. Yeah.
Hi, Fred.
Fred approves.
Hi, Fred.
Hi,
So
everybody.
now it's time for you to give your info because it's my favorite part.
You're probably the only one that likes this, but
I do like it.
all right. So yes, I'm at Charles Skaggs on Twitter. I'm also on the Facebook. I'm on the Instagram. I'm on the Google Plus for all you crazy kids on the Google Plus.
I love it. My husband just got on the Google Plus and he put all of our comic book stuff up there. So
Ooh,
it's very cool.
that's cool. I have to check that out. And my blog of geeky things, Damn Good Coffee and Hot, which has been really active this past week because with all the television upfronts.
Yep.
And all the new trailers for new shows like, say, Legends of Tomorrow or Lucifer or Supergirl.
Yep, which we will be covering in the fall.
We will, as time permits, because we're going to have so many shows, we're going to have to start picking and choosing which ones we review.
Or doing more than one episode a week.
Something like that. It's going to be a little crazy.
Yeah, it is.
They keep adding these shows,
I
which
know.
is cool.
It's very cool.
But we're not quite sure how we're going to handle all these shows.
Yeah,
We're gonna pray for repeats. Let's put.
We're gonna have to talk about it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some major we're gonna have to get like a major whiteboard and start okay, drawing okay, we're gonna do this and this and this and this and
Here's
this.
what we do: time travel.
There you go. Love it.
I put the flash up.
Break out the cosmic treadmill.
Yep. Okay, so what do you say? We ready to go?
I think so.
All right. So we'll talk to you guys next week
Bye,
on Fandom Zone.